Hindi ba ma'am?
Nakasusunod na konti lang.
Kayo ma'am?
Ay, konti
May
lang.
konti lang later.
Ayan na mga kabisdak, dali na dito ang mga bubunistang tanganista ni Bake. Vice President Inday Sara Duterte nagsampa ng kaso laban po dito kay Ramil Madriaga na bata ni Laila Di Saba. Sinampan po siya ng kasong perjury. Dali ang mga animal. Kasalukuyan po merong pagdinig ngayon sa impeachment laban kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte dyan sa Kongreso. Magbubutuhan na po sila ngayon kung meron bang sapat na basihan, kung in substance ba, meron ba. Sa palagay po natin mga kababayan ko, sa akin lang talagang dyan sa Committee on Justice, lamang sa bilang ang mga tanganista. Pero iwan ko lang kaya kung uusad ba ho ito. Nagkaroon po ng kaguluhan dyan sa impeachment. Starring po dito si Ann Cortez. At tulalang-tulala po itong si Jinky Luestro. Gerbil, nang dahil kay Speaker may hikes. Nang dahil kay Speaker may akap. Nang dahil kay Speaker may tupad. Nang dahil kay Speaker may groundbreaking. Nang dahil kay Speaker bumahang Batangas. Hindi mo, Gerbil, mag-inhibit ka na lang, hinayupa ka. Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Palike po muna, pa-share, pa-subscribe. At pakipindot po ang inyong notification bell. Parang awa nyo na. Para lagi po kayong updated sa ating mga video. Ayan. Supportan po natin ang Bisdak Historiador. Pangalawang YouTube channel ko po. Diyan po ako magla-live paminsan-minsan. Patoplok nga ho guys. Unahin po muna natin itong banatan diyan sa Kongreso. Medyo meron tayong mga kakampi diyan na dumadami. At saka nagulat ako dito kay Rufus Rodriguez ba? Cagayan alam naman natin tambaluslos din yan Pero matindi ang kanyang banat at sinabi niya na walang basihan ang lahat po ng articles of impeachment laban kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. At ito naman po si Bung Sontay. Dumipinsan naman po kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte patungkol po riyan. At dinipinsan niya yung pagurgor ni Vice President Inday Sara kay Bake, kay Tambaloslos, kay Bangag kung siya ay magugorgor. At syempre, nasubrahan po ang kanyang paggigigil kaya nabanggit po niya si Ann Cortez. Ito naman po ay may kaugnayan sa designated survivor na sinasabi ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, anak ng kagong, pati ba naman yan pala? May impeachable offense? Yaward na talaga. Unahin po muna natin itong si Rufus Rodriguez na talagang hindi po umubra dito si Laila Di Saba. Binanat-banatan po ni Rufus Rodriguez. Ito, pakinggan po natin ang banat ni Congressman Rufus Rodriguez sa kay Laila Di Saba. Kasi si Laila Di Saba kasi siya po yung petitioner, Siya po yung nag-endorso ng impeachment na yan. Pakinggan natin.
Respected endorsers, let me just comment first on the prefatory. Yesterday, I really acknowledge the statement and the lyrics given by the Honorable Lima on whatever you go to come here, get here. By train, by car, by plane, by boat. And that is the song, Get Here, by Oleta Adams.
Possible dream.
But in the prefatory statement, it seems that the prefatory statement is from the man from La Mancha, the impossible dream. I like to ask, is the quest to impeach the Vice President an impossible dream?
Not at all.
Okay, so the prefatory statement should have been changed. There should be something more positive than negative. Otherwise, impossible dream is an impossible dream. But anyway, I go now, Madam Chair.
Impossible dream talaga na ma-impeach si Vice President Inday Sara. Na po hindi po magustuhan ito ng mga bubunistang tanganista, dilawan, pinklawan itong banat ni Rufus. Talagang pinagdiinan niya na walang basihan yung mga reklamo. Ito.
To the grounds. We will methodically go into the grounds to try to go to trial against the Vice President. So, number one, the first ground is Vice President Duterte committed culpable violation of the Constitution. There is none. There's no direct. We cannot have a violation of general principles of state policies. There has to be a point, according to the Supreme Court, there has to be clearly specific provision that is directly violated by the impeachable official. There is none. There is no allocation of that. Next.
Wala na. Dinurog agad. Wala naman kasing nagturo talaga na mayroong culpable violation of law. Ano yun? So wala na agad. Tapos na. Ito. Next.
And this is where there is what we have to discuss because there are many underlying grounds for betrayal of public trust.
Betrayal
The first
of
one
public trust.
stated in the complaint is committing plunder. Madam Chair, plunder is on the Republic Act 7080. We have to put in here all the elements of plunder, which are for misappropriation, conversion, misuse or malversation of public funds, receiving the commissions, he receives the money, the kickbacks,
Meron ba?
illegal fraudulent conveyance of assets for taking advantage. All of these were not alleged in the complaint. So
Alay! Wala yan, mga kickback sa malversation of public funds. Nga. Si Bungit, pwede pa. Si Tambaloslos. Ayan. Maliwanag. At yung mga kongresistang buhaya. Ito tuloy po, kung Rufus galing.
plunder. Now, malversation. Malversation is governed, Madam Chair, by our the law on Article 217 of the Revised Penal Code. So there are also requirements for malversation to support betrayal of public trust. And the elements here is that the offender is public officer, and as decided by the Supreme Court, she should be an accountable officer. The Vice President is not an accountable officer.
Patay.
Oh, who are the accountable officers? By definition, according to the Supreme Court, accountable officers are cashiers, treasurers, property officers, and the like. She is the Vice President. And so therefore, this malversation cannot prosper as stated directly. However,
Aray, bakit? Wala, no? Hindi ma-charge ng malversation of public funds. Maano na yon, tuloy.
this is when it will be. However, there is allegation here that there is conspiracy. That's the accountable officer. If there is conspiracy by the head of office under the ruling of the Supreme Court,
Meron ba?
there may be malversation through conspiracy. That is what they are going to therefore make as a support for committing betrayal of public trust. And then, graft and corruption. It is governed by Republic Act 3019, Article 3. So, paragraph 3, E, F. And there is also no clear allegation that because of his office, he gave due advantage or she received kickbacks. This is confidential funds. And so therefore, Madam Chair, we could not also say that there is graft and corruption.
Patay.
Secondly, and lastly, there
Hindi din muna natin sa plunder, graft and corruption, wala rin. Yung anak ng kamuti, anong pinaglalaban nila Dilima yan at ni Jinke? Tuloy, oh.
are high crimes, very far from it. In this case, the allegation is that there is a misappropriation of 500 million in the OPP. 125 of that was 2022, 375 in 2000. Now, what is the status now of that particular finding by the COA? Madam Chair, the COA saw that there is lack of funds, lack of supporting documents, documentary evidence of payments. But there is no COA finding of corruption
Correct.
of the Vice President. This is just the lack of documentary evidence of payments to the respective beneficiaries. And then, we also have, Madam Chair, in this case, graft and corruption is defined, the Supreme Court said this is about 3019. So in this case, there is no, when did the Vice President receive the money? Where was it deposited? So, therefore, receiving these gifts or kickbacks under 3019.
If I may interrupt, Honorable Rodriguez.
Pinara na si Rodriguez kasi nga, wala na, puro pabor kay Inday Sara yung mga pinagsasabi niya. Walang malversation, betrayal of public trust, plunder, wala, as in, walang korupsyon. Ang tangin na sinabi naman kasi ng COA na modified opinion, unmodified opinion eh. Wala namang korupsyon kasi tama naman si Rufus Rodriguez. Ang makapagsabi na may korupsyon sa isang departamento ay commission on audit. Mag-audit ka. Eh, siyempre, ang ano lang naman kaso ni Inday Sara, yung mga kulang sa mga dokumento. So, ngayon, nag-comply. So, misuse of funds. Pag ma-comply mo yan, malilinis ka. So, ang COA na magsabi na walang korupsyon. O, ito pa, meron pang issue sila. So, wala na tayong impeachment. Pero yung mga hunghang, nagbubutuhan pa rin ngayon kung may substance. Gulat ako dito kay Rufus Rodriguez, mukhang nag-iba na. Di ba, naalala ko, mainit din to sa mga Duterte. Pero ngayon, na nag-deklara na si Inday Sara, tatakbo sa pagkapangulo, mukhang nag-iba. O, ito, sa ano naman, naiba sila ngayon kaysa last year. Sa last year, pinagtutulugan nila si Inday Sara. Ngayon, mukhang dumami na po silang kakampi kay Inday Sara. Nakaramdam na. O, ito naman, may pangalawa pa siyang banat dito patungkol naman sa aligasyon na kay Vice President Inday Sara sa DepEd. O, ito. Ang galing din ng banat ni Rufus dito Durog na durog sila.
Number 2 is totally outside the jurisdiction of this impeachment court.
DepEd.
Section 2, Article 11. Enumerates the officials that will be impeached. I cannot see here the Secretary of DepEd to be impeached. In other words, Madam Chair, these allegations about actuations of Vice President Sara as a duly appointed
Secretary.
Secretary of Education is not within the jurisdiction of an impeachment court. We're not impeaching here a Secretary of Education.
Patay.
In fact, Madam Chair, it is very clear that once you are able to, we'll see there are some grounds of the Vice President to be able to be tried in the Senate. It is only a removal from office of the Vice President and perpetual disqualification.
Correct.
In the case of the second ground, specifically, it talks about actions of the confidential funds in the Department of Education. Madam Chair, the Executive Order 292 of the late President Cory Aquino under his legislative powers in 1987 provides that the office of the Vice President is totally different from the office of the Secretary of a department.
Correct.
We have here, very clear. I have here, you can see here, Book 2, Distribution of Powers of Government. What does it say? Here, executive, exercise of executive power, the President. It is vested in the President. And Section 12, the Vice President also shall have the same qualification and so forth of the President, and he will be it is he here, but should be genders equal, may be removed from office in the same manner as the president. So this is under Book
Executive.
2, Chapter 3. Now, we go to the Secretary of Education. Where is he found? It is on Book 4. Book 4 provides for the executive branch. The departments, it says in Section 1, the executive branch shall have departments as are necessary for the functional distribution of the work of the president for the performance of function. Section 3, department proper. The department is run by the secretary. Madam Chair, all of this will show that there is a dichotomy, a separation of the vice president when he was appointed without need of confirmation. Then that is another duty of hers. And we are not here going to try the vice president as secretary of education.
Correct.
We are only here to try his actuations in the office of the vice president, wherein removal in case of impeachment could be ruled by the Senate. And therefore, Madam Chair, clearly, according to our rules which says determination of substance is met when there's a recital of facts constituting the offense charge, and there is an and here, and determinative of the jurisdiction of the committee. Determinative of the jurisdiction. What is the jurisdiction of our committee? Impeachment is an impeachment now committee to impeach. The charges are to impeach the vice president as provided by our constitution. So therefore, not only is there a lack of recital of the facts, what is important here is that this round 2 is not determinative of the jurisdiction. So everything here, from 2 up to 6, which pertains to the Secretary of Education, should be ousted and dismissed immediately for being not within the jurisdiction of this committee.
Wala na, durog. Dismiss na daw lahat ng reklamo patungkol sa DepEd. Aray, iyak! Muntang inatama rin naman kasi ang DepEd Secretary, hindi naman impeachable officers. At saka ang gusto mong i-impeach ang Vice President. So ngayon, kung gusto mong magreklamo para ma-impeach si Inday Sara, yung ginagawa niya sa pagiging Vice President, hindi yun sa pagiging DepEd. So walang jurisdiction. Yung reklamo nila patungkol sa DepEd, walang jurisdiction ang Kongreso, ang Committee on Justice para i-impeach si Inday Sara. So lahat ng mga kanilang aligasyon sa DepEd hindi magagamit para ma-impeach si Vice President Inday Sara. Bakit nung nakaraan taon in-impeach ninyo, mga animal kayo? No, gumawa kayo kasi may pera 150 million. So ito na maliwanag kasi mayroong deliberasyon, may hearing sa Committee on Justice na wala naman noon at malinaw, no. Yung mga kunyari mayroong violation si Inday Sara sa DepEd, matik hindi yun magagamit para ma-impeach si Vice President Inday Sara. Hindi pwedeng gawing ground po yan. So ang ground ngayon, hahanapan nila yung sa Office of the Vice President. Kung wala, di iyak na naman. Okay, so mukhang dumami na po ang ating mga kakampi dyan sa Kongreso. Nag-iba na sila ng tono. Dati ay tsatsa, ngayon ay budots na. Tsatsa, gibawal ka na. O goods po yan, at least maliwanag po na ngayon. So ito naman tayo dito kay Bong Suntay. Kasi Bong Suntay naman dumipinsa doon sa di umano pag-orgor ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. No, kay Tambaloslos, kay Baki, kay Bungit. Nalahin pa nga kay Inday Sara na kapag ako ay gorgorin, may nakausap na ako na dapat mag-gorgor at hanapin sila. Ang tawag diyan kasi conditional death threat. At pinipli pa nga ho, diyan sa Kongreso, yung mga pinagsasabi ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Yan yung expression. Yan yung galit at maalala po natin, pinatawag din po si Inday Sara diyan sa NBI noon. So nasagot naman ni Inday Sara yan, pero ang mga hunghang, ginamit pa rin po nila bilang isang di umano'y impeachable offense. Pero narito po si Bong Suntay to the rescue.
Madam Chair, the complaint alleges that the respondent declared that she had arranged for a person to kill the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker if she herself were killed. The complaint alleges a public statement, but it does not allege the existence of an actual agreement to kill. There is not even an overt act in furtherance of such agreement. Any constituting conspiracy or any constituting conspiracy or attempted murder. Kasi yung alleged gunman, hindi man lang natin na-present. Now,
Si John Wick.
let's go.
I-present nyo si John Wick. Wala naman talagang gunman. Ito ay parang bunga ng galit, bluff lang din. Sige, parang reverse lang ba, no? Reverse psychology. Pagurgur mo ako, may gugurgur din sa'yo. Kasi ang una man na dinitreat ay si Vice President Inday Sara. Alam ni Inday Sara yan, may intel si Inday. Dapat nga yung imbestigahan, yung issue kung meron bang talagang threat na igurgur si Inday Sara. Sino yung mga yun? Wala silang concern ngayon eh. Ang concern nila ngayon, ginamit nila yung galit na ni Inday Sara na pag binurgur nyo ako, sige, meron akong kinausap na nagurgurin din kayo.
To the doctrine of free speech, which guarantees free speech and free press do not permit the state to forbid or prescribe the advocacy of the use of force or of law violation, except where such advocacy is directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. Advocacy of violence or lawbreaking is protected unless it is directed at inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to produce such action. That was stated in Salonga versus Cruz Paño, 134 SCRA 438. Now, kung makikita rin natin doon sa statement ni doon sa video, and I'm glad that it was flashed on screen, which kasi in fact dapat nga hindi because it would be premature as I mentioned.
Correct.
The video is not part of the complaint, but okay lang na ipakita natin diyan because it brings back yung ano natin yung pag-aalala sa mga yan. The VP said that she had someone to kill. If she herself was killed. Lo and behold, they are both alive. So ibig sabihin walang overt action which was done. You know, sometimes when I go home late, my wife always threatens to kill me. Sabi sa akin ng asawa ko, papatayin kita na eh. Umaga ka na naman umuwi. And you know what? My wife is the queen of our home, ha? And she is highly respected by everyone in our household. But you know, I'm still alive. And my wife only kills me with love. Common sense dictates that if you are really serious in killing someone, you do not announce it to the whole world. Why would you announce that you will kill someone if you really intend to kill someone? Common sense dictates otherwise.
Correct ka dyan, Bong Suntay. Common sense eh. Kasi nga oo nga naman, pag ikaw po merong gustong gurgurin, bakit kailangan mong i-announce in public, no? Tapos marami pang mga vlogger, media nakatutok, press con. Walang ganun talaga para sa akin. Bungay lang yun ng galit ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Ikaw ba naman patayan ng tubig at ilaw, anak ka ng kagwang tambaluslos ka? So, siyempre, alam din ni Inday Sara, talagang panganib ang buhay niya, merong detreat sa kanya. Kaya, alam niya, pag ginurgur niyo ako, parang reverse psychology yan, saywar, magurgurin ko rin kayo. Ay pagpatuloy natin yung banat ni Bong Suntay, na starring po dito si Ann Cortez, ang Diyosa ng mga artista. O ito, pakinggan po natin kasi na-misinterpret po ito ng mga bubonistang, tanganistang, mga dilawan, pinklawan at ng mga media. Ang sabi kasi dito ni Bong Suntay, talagang parang umiinit siya pag nakita niya itong si Ann Cortez. So, pakinggan natin bakit nasabi niya yun.
Gusto niyang maging designated survivor ng bansa. Pero ang lahat ng ito, sabi ng kongresista, ay nasa isip lang ni VP Sara. Dito nang kinumpara ni Suntay ang sarili sa bise. Dahil maging siya mismo raw ay may mga nai-imagine sa actress na si Ann Curtis.
Alam mo, minsan, nasa Shangri-La ko, nakita ko si Ann Curtis. Ang ganda-ganda pala niya. You know, may desire sa loob ko na nag-init talaga. Na-imagine ko na lang kung anong pwedeng mangyari. Pero siyempre, hanggang imagination lang yun. Pero, di naman siguro ako pwedeng kasuhan dahil kung ano na-imagine ko eh.
Ang pahayag na yan ni Suntay, gusto agad ipatanggal ng ilang kongresista sa transcript of records.
Madam Chair, I would like to have those statements stricken from the record.
Madam
There
Chair,
is
have the
nothing
women's march.
sexual dun sa sinabi
Correct.
ko. Nothing immoral. It's just, I said, may na-imagine ako. I think there is nothing wrong.
Nevertheless, Madam Chair, I want that deleted in the record.
Sus,
Di rin napigilan ng
Pastor
ilang babaeng kongresista na bumwelta sa sinabi ni Suntay.
With all due respect to my friend, Congressman Bong Suntay, it is just the start of the Women's Month. And I don't think that we should be hearing such comments from our dear colleagues. We are not censuring anything, but we are reminding them that, in fact, we should support women by not saying these statements and things like this do not empower women.
If the manifestation of the justice member offends the sensitivity of the justice members, then it means that we are crossing the boundaries already.
Madam Chair.
After all, we rule here by the judgment of the justice members.
Sa panayam ng programang
Zamora.
Storycon ng One News, iginiit ni Suntay na analogy lang ang kanyang mga pahayag sa deliberasyon. Wala raw anumang sexual sa mga sinabi niya.
Ang sinabi ko was nagkaroon ng desire at imagination. But that's it. Kung meron man, nag-init yung katawan ko, well, ano yun? You know, it depends on what context you take it on. If you have a dirty mind, maaari. But it's in your mind, di ba? What we are taking into context is the question. Is something that you are imagining punishable?
Sabi pa ng kongresista, dapat mas pagtuunan na lang ng pansin ang impeachment proceeding ng bise.
Mas malaki yung implication ng impeachment proceeding kaysa sa analogy between Ann Curtis and whoever. Yan ang mas importante sa mga tao.
Nang matanong naman kung dapat ba siyang mag-sorry kay Ann Curtis, may pahabol na banat pa si Suntay.
Sabi ko, ang ganda-ganda niya. And I think she should take it as a compliment that I feel. And I believe that she's very beautiful.
Doon sa aspect na yun, pero doon sa nag-iinit ng katawan.
Well, mainit dito sa Pilipinas. Diba?
Sir naman, you do know that's not what you meant, and anybody can tell you that.
No, that you're attributing something that you know, that I may not have meant. Diba?
So what did you mean when you said nag-iinit ang
Coming
iyong...
into a conclusion.
Ito Idlangaw, papaliwanag ko po. Kasi nga, ang comparison dito ni Bong Suntay, kayong sinabi ni Vice President Inday Sara na designated survivor, no? At saka yung galit niya. Siyempre, parang ang tayong mga tao, sa sobrang galit natin, no? Yung nilalabas ating mga bibig, no? Yung reaction mo, ay minsan hindi mo yan kontrolado. No? Kaya kagaya na, pag ako ginurgur ninyo, naghanap din ako ng tao na papagurgur ko kayo. That's part of expression. Yung parang, yun yung reaction ng katawan mo, yung sarili mo, yung galit mo ba. Dito naman kay Bong Suntay, yung comparison niya, for example, nakikita daw niya si Ann Cortez. So si Ann Cortez talagang maganda. Kumbaga umiinit ka talaga pag nakita mo yung isang taong maganda. Kumbaga yun lang yung comparison, yun yung reaction ng sarili mo. Doon naman sa kay Inday Sara sa galit, dito naman kay Bong Suntay, yung desire. Na pinapakita niya yan, walang kaso yan, wala siyang kasalanan. Yun lang naman, hanggang doon lang naman. Pero yung sabi mong desire, nag-asain mo si Ann Cortez, wala yun. Siyempre, nakita mo talagang maganda naman talaga si Inday Sara. Si Inday Sara, maganda rin naman si Inday Sara. Talagang maganda naman si Ann Cortez. That's a compliment, no? Humahanga ka sa kagandahan ng isang babae kagaya ni Ann Cortez. Kung ako naman Ann Cortez, masaya ako kasi marami palang nagagandahan sa akin. At totoo palang Diyos ako ako. Unless wala ka namang foul na sinasabi. Hindi mo naman sinasabi, kakaasahin ko yun. Wala naman. Yan ay paghanga. Masyado lang sensitive itong si Samura. Wala yata kasing nagagandahan kay Samura at kay Gerbel Loistro, no? Asawa ni Jinky nagtatago hanggang ngayon eh. May kasong panggagahasa. Wala namang ganun. Anyway, maganda po yung banat ni Suntay at ni Rofoso, at least kahit papano, meron tayong kakampi dyan sa Kongreso, na itong si Laila de Lima ay ginamit itong si Madriaga. So ngayon po, ito naman kabisdak yung magandang development, no? Si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte ay nagsampa po ng kasong perjury laban po dito kay Madriaga na ginamit po ito ng, siyempre, ni Laila de Lima. O ito po, ayun po, sa ICM9 News po ito, breaking news po ito mga kabisdak. Breaking news, dumating sa Office of the City Prosecutor sa Taguig si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte upang magsampa ng kasong perjury laban kay Ramil Madriaga ngayong Miyerkules, Marso 4. Sinamahan siya ng kanyang mga testigo at ang kanyang abogado na si Attorney Paulo Panilo Jr. Actually, itong si Ramil Madriaga, hindi lang naman si Vice President Inday Sara ang nagsampa ng kaso, kundi yung iba pang mga general na nababanggit doon sa affidavit ni na pinakita ni Laila de Lima ay nagsampa na rin po ng kaso. Dapat nga po, kasama dito si Laila de Lima, sampahan din po ng kaso. Narito po yung pagdating ni Vice President Inday Sara sa Taguig Regional Trial Court. Yan.
Hey, ma'am. May konti lang ma-paper.
Para sa lang itong ano.
Ayan, ang abogado po ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte ay si Attorney Paulo Panilo, Salvador Panilo. Yun po yung anak ni Attorney Sal Panilo, baka malito po kayo. Si Attorney Paulo. Pareho rin naman Salvador eh. Attorney Salvador Paulo Panilo ng abogado ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Nagsampa po ngayon ng kaso laban po kay Ramil Madriaga. Na di umano, ito po yung nagtuturo kay Inday Sara na, tawag yan, na bagman daw ni Inday Sara, anak ng kagwang PSG daw, lolo mo. Formal na pong nanumpa si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Ito po yung pinaka-latest report. Vice President Inday Sara Duterte takes oath for perjury complaint she filed against Ramil Madriaga at the Office of the City Prosecutor dyan sa Taguig. O ayan, tinuluyan na po ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. So narito naman po ang statement. Tika lang. Meron ding payag si Vice President Inday Sara ngayong araw patungkol po sa International Criminal Court. Isama na po natin. Basahin na rin po natin mga kabisdak. Dagdag lang update kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Ang sabi po dito, mga kababayan, nakita na natin kung paano umasa ang kaso sa International Criminal Court laban kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa mga binili o gawa-gawang salaysay ng mga testigos ni Antonio Trillanes tulad ni Arturo Las Cañas at Edgar Mutabato. Kung noon pa lamang ay kunistyon at kinasuhan ang mga kasinungalingang ito, hindi sana nagamit sa ICC ang mga ito laban sa dating Pangulo. Nakikita rin natin na tila inuulit na naman ng House of the Representatives ang parehong taktika sa pamamagitan ng kanilang tinatawag na testigo na si Ramil Madriaga. Si Madriaga ay isang akusado sa kasong kidnapping na nagpapanggap na campaign supporter at mula roon ay biglang lumitaw bilang testigo kuno sa impeachment laban sa akin. Dahil dito ngayong araw ay naghain ako ng kasong perjury laban kay Ramil Madriaga upang tuluyang mapanagot siya sa kanyang mga kasinungalingan. Hindi maaaring hayaang gamitin ang mga imbintong kwento upang lindangin ang publiko. Ang aking abogado na si Attorney Paulo Panilo ang sasagot sa mga tanong ng media tungkol sa kasong ito. Salamat. Ayan po ang pahayag ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte sa pagsampa po niya ng kaso laban kay Ramil Madriaga. O hito na tayo ngayon. Sino bang ating paniniwalaan? Yung mga ex-Marines, no, na nagsabi na mali-malitang pera nag-deliver kay Bangag, Tambaloslos at sa mga kongresista kay Gerbel, kay Laila de Lima. Ayan sila, Pastor Abante o dito kay Ramil Madriaga na kriminal. O ito na tayo, sagot! Mga buhaya kayo. Kailangan nyo pong sumagot. Labo-labo na. Kaya nga itong impeachment ngayon, wala na yan. Mamatay lang yan ng kusa. O ito mga kababayan ko, pakinggan po natin si Kitty Duterte. Ito po ay update dyan sa dahig patungkol kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Bago yan, pakinggan muna natin si Baste.
Wala, hindi ako. Parehari mga nagpapalala. Balik-balik na naman for the past 3 years. Balik na po tayo confidential funds.
Yan po ang payag ni Mayor Basti Duterte patungkol po sa impeachment laban kay Inday Sara. Pakinggan naman natin si Katie Duterte.
Kit, you just finished your visit to your father. How is our former president generally? In general, rather, sorry.
Well, actually, no. I think you know why I'm wearing shades. Because like I always say, the first visit is always the hardest. I usually wait at the corridor mismo. So, I waited for him there. Nung narinig ko kaagad yung ano ng pinto, tumakbo ako. He was okay, but at first I noticed that he had drier lips and skin than usual. That's why I imposed a rule today. Kada inom siya ng Coke, dapat may few sips of water. And then eventually, after he finished about, say, 3 cups of water, nag-okay naman. Natakot kasi ako kasi medyo mapula yung mata niya. So sabi ko baka dry. And he just needs hydration. So, ayun.
How long?
I asked the guard, obviously, na kung kumain na siya. Sabi niya, wala daw. Kasi 1:30 exactly siya naghintay. Sabi ko, wala. So, kaya medyo madami siyang nakain during the visit. Yung pancake na gusto niya. Sabi niya, he's very proud to be a Davaoenyo. And he would not want any other lineage except being a Filipino daw.
Kit, just a little bit political. Were you able to follow the confirmation of charges hearing?
Actually, no. I'll be honest, hindi namin kaya manood. I think it's the same for the 4 of us and for my mother. We don't really watch the ano mismo because hindi namin kaya, honestly. It's hard for us. But of course, we do keep in touch with the legal team and just to see the progress.
With respect to the waiver, Kit, signed by your father for not attending the hearing, sinabi niya doon na kaninyo ako magpabiling sulugoon. What do you have to say to that point of view of your father, even though he's already been incarcerated for almost a year now, but he remains faithful?
Always the same. Always the same. Ana, good siya. He rarely ever calls himself politician. Di magaling na magpatawag ng presidente sa una during his time. Ang favorite niya na ginatawag sa iya is Mayor Good. So, he's the same. Always the same. He calls himself public servant instead of politician or whatever he is.
No problem. Kit, just to conclude this interview, no? Just a quick interview. Do you have a message to those individuals who still continue attacking your family up until now, may people through different means or platform?
I do not because first of all, I don't give attention, time, and effort to the ones who aren't worth it. I've always been like this ever since I grew up in the public eye. I've been exposed ever since, even as a teenager. If you notice, I only speak up when it comes to defending my mother, my father, my family. But at this point, it's there. VP Sara just announced that she's running for president this 2028. And in fact, ayun, napag-usapan namin ni PRRD. May sinabi siya, sabi niya, although he is beaming with pride hearing that, he also feels for her talaga. Because he said na parang no amount of adulation and honor could ever compensate for the misery and agony daw of being president. Sabi niya, look at me now. Sabi niya, ito yung trono ko, like pertaining to the chair beside him.
But just a quick follow-up on that. What's your reaction to your sister, Vice President Sara Duterte, when she announced to run for presidency?
All of us are very proud. We talked about that. But also, there's this fear inkling for her, of course. She has children who are bata pa. And, that makes all of us a target. But, alam namin kaya niya. Siya pa ba? Diba? Alam niyo yung ugali ni VP Sara. Mas matapang pa sa tatay namin. Tsaka, fighter talaga. Our papa raised us to be that way, all of us.
Any message to the Filipino people who still, up until now, we're almost reaching 1 year, message to them with respect to their unwavering love and support to your father?
So, para sa tanan, no, to every Filipino, maraming salamat sa inyo. I don't think I can show how much I appreciate the support because obviously I cannot be everywhere simultaneously. But when I run into Filipinos, when I see them, magpasalamat yun ko. Kaya in fact, during our first time here sa Hague, last year around March, ang nagpakaon sa amo, ang nagtabang sa among transportation, puro gyud OFW. I don't think the first...
Ayan po mga kabisdak, ang update patungkol kay former President Duterte nakakatuwa dahil buong pamilya ay suportado na po ngayon si Vice President Inday Sara sa pagtakbo sa pagka-presidente sa 2028. Malay natin, mapagang pagkapangulo dahil si Bangag delikado ng katawan. So ito na, sinampa ng perjuring kaso itong si Madriaga. Wala na. Dong, mabulok ka na talaga sa bilangguan, anak ka ng kagwang ka.